Alright, welcome back guys to another trade recap. Definitely one of my more longer trades this week, and this is not blush or makeup or anything. I got burnt to an absolute toast. It's spring break, went on the beach, and it wasn't even sunny, bro. I swear to God, it wasn't even sunny, and it just got cooked. I don't know how, but yeah. So trade recap. I'll be back on my normal setup next week. I don't really like this laptop setup either. It's kind of janky. My trades aren't like, it's not as big, and I like my dual monitor setup, so I'll be back pretty soon. Don't even worry, bro. So yeah, I think that's all I had to address. But yeah, super long trade today. We can just get straight into it. You guys can see, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So today's trade session, very long. However, I really like the way I handled it. I really like my management, trade execution, things like that. I just didn't have, this was one of just those days where you're just wrong with your analysis, but a very good loss in my opinion. So top down analysis was what I do. I like to come into my daily candle first for my bias, and for my daily candle, we were down here. We weren't up here when market was opening, or like pre-market. We were like down here somewhere, and we had this long wick, right? So obviously, I would assume that we are gonna continue to respect this daily fair value gap, right? Because that's what we've been doing. We respected it yesterday, we respected the day before, and so I was gonna assume that this candle was going to be the start of our expansion move downwards. However, price was a little bit trapped this week because of the fact that we had two daily fair value gaps in between. So price is kind of deciding. It's kind of a war zone right now. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen with price. Dude, I've taken way too many trades. So yeah, I didn't really have a strong bias because of the fact that we were within two fair value gaps. And when I don't have like a strong bias like that, I don't mind it, right? I like having a loose bias because it allows me to adapt. Adapting is something that you have to do. You can't be married to your bias. That's a mistake I've learned from, and I think just learning from that only has made me a lot better of a trader. So what I like to do now is I like to look to see what London's doing, right? Pre-market's doing. So right now we're accumulating buy orders, we're accumulating sell side, right? We have 5 minute order flow on the London session. We have 5 minute bullish order flow. I love 5 minute order flows. When we have strong order flow on the 5 minute in pre-market London, it makes it a little bit easier if I don't have a certain bias. So now I know what I want to see because of the fact right before market opens, right, or right when market opens, we make another higher high, right? And then this is important. We make a change in the state. We have a change in state here, and then we also create a fair value gap, right, with another bullish candle. So we have a 5 minute fair value gap. Whoa. And a 5 minute change in state. And for anybody, that's a perfect model. We also take out sell side here, right? This market opens, we're pushing up. That's perfect, right? And which it is. So because we got good confluence, I'm waiting for price to retrace back into this fair value gap zone, this change in state area, so we can enter long, right? However, I also knew that today there was consumer sentiment, right? There's consumer sentiment, and right now consumer sentiment is very shitty. I don't know if this is how it works, but right now consumer sentiment is shitty, obviously, because stocks are down, crypto's down, everything is down. And so I was kind of anticipating a bearish news candle, and this is very high volatility, so I knew that if we weren't able to retrace to this area before news candle, that news candle would be our manipulation candle, because news moves in two ways, for two reasons. News moves either as manipulation or as a kind of like a boost to hit your draw, right? So it's either manipulation or a boost to hit my draw. And right now it's looking like manipulation, right? Because we're accumulating kind of orders here. And now what I'm looking for is, like I said, we're looking for that retracement back into the fair value gap zone, that change state delivery area for me to enter long. However, all was going well, right? Everything was going well. However, this is where things kind of got harder. We create a unicorn here, right? We have a stop on here. We make a stop and we grab liquidity. We make a breaker block, right? So we make a bearish breaker block. We have a high, we have a low, we make a higher high, and then we make a lower low. Can this? Okay, no, it can't. And then make a lower low, right? So these three series candles essentially is our breaker block. In addition to that, we get a fair value gap here. In addition to that, we have a 5 minute change in the state. That was huge. We have a 5 minute change in the state and a 5 minute fair value gap that forms as well, right? So a 5 minute fair value gap, and we get a 5 minute change in state, and we get a unicorn model, a perfect unicorn model on the 1 minute. So that's very strong confidence that the price is just going to want to head down, and that news candle being manipulation for me to enter long here is kind of fishy now. So now, considering that, just like the bias, I don't have a strong conviction to do anything. And when I don't have a strong conviction to do anything, what do? I wait for more information. This is being reactive to the market. This is not doing what you want to do, but doing what the market tells you to do, right? So now, this is what I'm looking for now. So after that happens, we get that news candle, and I'm correct. News is bearish. Consumer sentiment is shitty, right? We get a soup here. That's what I was looking for. Honestly, I was expecting a soup here as well. Like a soup was a possibility, right? Soup this kind of order block area. We bounced off this liquidity zone. That's exactly what we did. We were rejecting. I almost entered here. I almost got FOMO, right? Because I was right. It's kind of hard to not enter when you're right, or when it seems like you're right. So I don't enter here because of the fact that we have a unicorn and we have 5-minute fair value gaps here. It just wouldn't be like good RR. I would probably enter like here and there stops. Like it was just janky, right? So now what I want to see is we see a rejection. Okay, first step in for price to be officially bullish is checked off. Second step is I want to see the unicorn model be invalidated. I want to see this 5-minute fair value gap to the downside get inverse, right? If this 5-minute fair value gap is inverse, that's a perfect indication that we are officially in a buy model, that we are officially going to buy, right? So, but now that's what I'm waiting for, right? So I zoom in, I'm waiting to see what price is going to do. And what do? I also draw my range, right? What do? We approach that 5-minute fair value gap. We approach that breaker block here. We approach that 1-minute fair value gap. We approach that unicorn model. We approach OTE, and we respect it, right? We're not doing anything. It's not playing around. We respect our model. And for me, what I'm thinking is, okay, like now that I think about it, it should have just been me I should have just followed higher time frame order flow. But for me, I had a perfect unicorn. We had a 5-minute fair value gap, a breaker, and we were respecting it. And we also had data lows. I just wanted to see that get taken out, and that's just my mistake. It happens, right? And because of that, I kind of just favored the bearish model more than my bullish model, and that's why I entered short here. We also got a 1-minute inverse. That was my final indication that we would head lower, right? We got that 1-minute inverse here. That's when I entered. So yeah, honestly, I was very, very good with staying patient today. I just chose the wrong kind of order flow to believe in, and that's something I've also been working on having trouble with, is following the higher time frame order flow. Yes, you had a good 1-minute unicorn. Yes, you had, a clean 5-minute displacement to the downside, but you've been consistently in 5-minute higher time frame order flow. You've seen that we souped this low, and even if you didn't believe that this was a valid soup, when you were down here and we were consistently we were unable to close below this 5-minute order block, and we were just wicking off of it, I should have closed my position, because this just gives us multiple entries to enter off the soup basically and just go long here. But I just wanted to be very patient, and I didn't want to see price. I didn't want to exit like here somewhere and just see price dump down. But then again, that's also just ego. I should just, if I see something that invalidates my trade, I should exit out, and I should adapt, right? So that's just something I have to work on. Comes with being not as experienced, but that's not an excuse. I shouldn't, But yeah, so that was my trade today. Very, very long trade. It was like around a 30-minute trade. Very patient trade. However, I liked it. Just chose the wrong thing to believe in today, and hopefully I didn't make this too messy. It's been 8 minutes. I talked a lot for 8 minutes, so hopefully you guys got some value out of this video. Though I will be back in my normal setup very, very soon. But yeah, man, if you guys have questions, DM me on Instagram, or if you guys are new to trading and wanna talk to other traders. Obviously, I'm not making you pay for anything or any of that shit. It's just free in my Discord. It's like a small community of us, just kind of share the entries we have, our analysis and things like that. It's a pretty good small community that we have. I like it. But yeah, man, nothing much else. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, spend time with your family, your friends, back test, journal, and get ready for next week. Thank you guys for watching, seriously, and I appreciate it. God bless.